All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. All praises and honors due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and are the reason why we have the understanding of this truth, because they were used to reveal this truth to us in the first place. And shalom to the real sisters. I mean, shalom to the Israelite, to the elect among the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And shalom to the real sisters out there. All right, you know, I I want to do this live on basically this event that happened. Another standoff. Another standoff, and this time, you know, is as the official story goes, it was between the cops and this and this group of this group of Jakes, this group of so-called black people that was heavily armed, and they want to drop their weapons when the cops told them and shit, and they call themselves the Rise of the Moors, and I've been noticing that more Jakes are being demonized. You know, I've been noticing that it's more Jakes that are being demonized by Esau, and being made into the new terrorists, basically, from victims to villains. And also, they're trying to basically disarm our man, fucking bugs. Salakia, yo. Trying to disarm people, disarm the public, so that there's little to no resistance whenever they lock shit down and mandate the jab, Basically, this is what it's about, This is what they are trying to do, and this could have been, could be a real group that was set up, organic group, right? Set up that, because you have Jakes that are into more science, basically, like Morris, basically like Morris laws, basically the laws, basically, they into that, how laws deal with our people back then, and how basically our people like how our people supposed to be kings and shit, but like, hey, I was watching a video by the elder from I believe he's an elder from Connecticut. It's GMS elder from Connecticut. His channel name is Job Yasharala. And even so, man, the inner workings of the law are like that. Esau is not gonna respect that, he's not gonna honor that, Shit, this land was robbed. It was stolen from the Gadites, It was stolen. So that right there should tell you, and he stole you so-called black people from west coast of Africa, and also the west coast of Europe, where our people was ruling, during the Dark Ages, as the Moors, as the Knights, So you have Jakes out there that are into more science and shit like that, that are into that, embracing that ideology when we're really Hebrew Israelites. Really, our blessing is really like way better than all that, you know. But not all Jake is gonna fully wake up to the truth. Matter of fact, 2/3 ain't. Most Jake isn't. Some of them gonna be caught up into these movements. It's gonna result in some shit like this. And also Esau, he creates false flag events to demonize a certain movements, a certain nationalities, or whatever he wants to demonize at the time. It create a false flag event. And let me get this article from Yahoo News. 11 people in custody after hours-long armed standoff on I-95. Wakefield, Massachusetts, an hours-long standoff with a group of heavily armed men that partially shut down Interstate 95 ended Saturday with 11 suspects in custody, Massachusetts State Police said. The standoff shut down a portion of I-95 for much of the morning, caused major traffic problems during the 4th of July holiday weekend. Authorities said the interstate is now reopened and the shelter-in-place orders for Wakefield and Reading were lifted. The standard began around 2 a.m. The standoff began around 2 a.m. when police noticed two cars pulled over on I-95 with hazard lights on after they had apparently run out of fuel, authorities said at a Saturday press briefing. At least some of the suspects were clad in military-style gear with long guns and pistols. Massachusetts State Police Colonel Christopher Mason said. He added that they were headed to Maine from Rhode Island for training, quote unquote. Quote unquote, you could imagine 11 armed individuals standing with long guns slung on an interstate highway at 2 in the morning. Certainly raises concerns and is not consistent with the firearm laws that we have in Massachusetts, quote unquote, Mason said. And Esau is gonna either create or capitalize on events like this, so he can push that agenda of we gotta take everybody's guns and shit, so that this devil has, that blessing of the sword all to himself. So, don't be surprised, if you see more events like this. Even more so involving you Jakes as well. You so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and you speckled bird / Israelite foreigners look like the other nations, but go back to either so-called black people, Latinos, or Native Americans, Southern Kingdom or Northern Kingdom, respectively. And the video, respectively, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you either belong to the Southern Kingdom or Northern Kingdom, And in a video posted on, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Belong to Southern and Northern Kingdom, but don't look Southern and Northern Kingdom. All right. Getting back into this article, in a video posted to social media Saturday morning, a man who did not give his name, but said he was from a group called Rise of the Moors, broadcast from Interstate 95 in Wakefield, near exit 57. Quote unquote, we are not anti-government, we are not anti-police, we're not sovereign citizens, we're not so-called black identity extremists. Because now they're coming out with that too. Said the man who appeared to be, that they're pushing that propaganda about anyone who doesn't bow to the beast, even if you Jakes who don't bow to the beast, could be considered black identity extremists. Of course, another byword. Quote unquote, said the man who appeared to be wearing military style equipment, quote unquote, as specified multiple times to the police that we are abiding by the peaceful journey laws of the United States, quote unquote. The website for the group says they are, quote unquote, Moorish Americans dedicated to educating new Moors and influencing our elders, quote unquote. Mason says he understands to the suspects who did not have firearm licenses have a different perspective on the law. Quote unquote, I appreciate that perspective, he said. I disagree with the perspective. Basically, let me look up what that's about. Let me look up what it's about. What's the peaceful journey laws in the United States? What are they referring to? What are they referring to? Okay, basically, they're saying, oh nah, we ain't gotta do that type shit, have like check in with y'all and all that, basically. License or whatever. Shit. Oh yeah, peaceful journey law. Peaceful journey refers to federal and state laws that address the transportation of firearms over state lines by firearm owners. The federal code 18 USC 926A says that as long as the owner of the firearm can legally carry in the state they left, in the state they are traveling to, the firearm is unloaded, and that the firearms, any ammunition are not easily accessible, then they could literally cross state lines. Many states have laws addressing this in the state constitutions. The states often have their own slightly different rules about how weapons can be transported. Vermont allows open carry in a vehicle without a permit. Others, like California, require the gun to be locked in the lockbox and unloaded during transport. The laws, yada yada yada, basically. On travel can also vary from state to state, and some states specify that the gun can only be transported in a private vehicle owned by the firearm owner. Like many states that also have a rule that you can only make brief stops for, like New York City, no stops at all, you'd be arrested. Okay, so yada yada yada. They have the states that don't have a specific law protecting owners transporting firearms in their state constitution are California, Iowa, Maryland, Minnesota, New Jersey, and New York. In these states can be tricky to transport a weapon. They often have very strict rules regarding how they must be transported. A prime example, New York City and NYC, the firearm must be unloaded and unlocked and in a locked container that cannot be easily accessed, and the journey must be continuous. Important note: in Washington D.C., it's illegal to transport a firearm for any reason through the area. if you're pulled over, you will be arrested. It's better to just avoid it altogether. Okay. So basically, these different laws that talk about, yeah, interstate transportation of firearms. Basically, hold on. Notwithstanding any other provision of any law or any rule or regulation of state or any political division thereof, any person who is not otherwise prohibited by this chapter from, transporting, shipping, and receiving a firearm shall be entitled to transform a firearm for any lawful purpose from any place where he may lawfully possess and carry such firearm to any other place where he may lawfully possess and carry such firearm if certain through such transportation the firearm is unloaded. Neither the firearm nor any ammunition being transported is readily accessible or is directly accessible from the passenger compartment of such transporting vehicle. Okay, basically this is what they was referring to going into that. Provided that in the case of a vehicle without a compartment separate from the driver's compartment, the firearm or ammunition shall be contained in a locked container rather than the glove compartment or console. But anyways, hold on. Basically, they're saying, well, they're trying to go into Esau laws and how basically it allowed them to carry them firearms, but gotta understand that Esau's laws, man, they're not. Esau doesn't even honor his own his own laws. You have to understand that. Esau will not even honor his own laws. And Shalom Akil Fisher 104. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. Yeah, you have Jakes that are sincere in these movements that think that Esau is going to honor, his own laws, when, first off, there's no honor among thieves, this devil is not going to honor that, man. Let me see if it's like that's based off of scripture, but no, they're vessels without honor, so you could kind of connect the two because they're also the thief that came to kill, steal, and destroy. Vessels unto honor and dishonor. Esau is that vessel unto dishonor. Romans 9 and 21. Just getting that real quick. You have to understand. Jake's gotta understand, man, that this man has no honor, bro. He don't keep his word. He breaks his covenant. The laws is basically a covenant with the people that he's ruling over, and he breaks his covenant. And you have to understand this man is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, number one. And number two, that this devil has the blessing of the sword, Number two, we're under the curses. We're without power, We're right now we're like, we're Jacob thou worm, because we have no might in our hands. But let me get about that vessel and the honor and unto dishonor scripture. Romans 9 and 21 hath not the potter power of, maybe I should start verse 20. Nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against power Yahweh, shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Verse 21. Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel to honor and another unto dishonor? One vessel to honor, Jacob, and another unto dishonor, Esau. Verse 22. What if power Yahweh willing So you get the point, man. Willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, Esau. Verse 23, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared in the glory, those vessels of honor, Jacob. So, there it's established. Esau is the vessel unto dishonor, There is no honor among this man. He's also a thief. He's the thief, who cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy, man. That's all he does, is murder. John 10 and 10, the thief cometh not but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, that they might have it more abundantly. Yahushai, he's letting you know. And also, let me get, the 2/3 are called the children of their father, the devil, and the devil is called the father of lies. You expect the father of lies to tell the truth? He's not gonna tell the truth. He's the father of lies. Let me get Luke. This for you Jakes that wanna think that you can use Esau's prior laws, which basically were like treaties. We could think of them as treaties or covenants with the people, agreements with the people. That Esau is gonna do that, nah, bro. Bro. That's not. It ain't happening. This devil is gonna. He's gonna be the damn devil, a deceiver, a false accuser. The father of lies, man. You know where it's at. This man, it's spoken of that he had broken his covenant, man. He had broken his covenant, this devil, this is what he does. So yeah, it could be that even in the inner workings of the laws of Babylon, we're supposed to fucking be free and run this shit or whatever, if you dig deep enough. But they're not gonna honor that shit. That's the thing about that. And they're the ones that are in power right now, They're the ones that the earth was given unto, the wicked. Let me get Psalms. Let me get Psalms chapter 55, talking about Esau, what he does. Psalms 55. Psalm 55. Verse 20, he had put forth his hands against such that be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. This man does not keep his covenants. He doesn't honor the deals that he makes with you. I don't know if y'all Jakes have noticed that yet, but this man don't do that, bro. Esau literally doesn't give a fuck about the deals that he makes with you. It's just Esau. It's just Esau speaking those smooth words to you, man. Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. So they're softer than oil, but drawn swords, man. And the words of his mouth, they're smoother than butter, man. So all that was Esau making empty promises to you tribes, man. That's all it was. It's like you look at all the Native American treaties, that Esau signed with you Native Americans, which are really Native Israelites, tribe of Gad. Look at all the treaties that was signed with the tribe of Gad, and how they was all broken, and with the so-called Mexicans, you Ishkarites, the Treaty of Hidalgo, it was broken. It's been broken. So many examples, man. So many examples of how this devil, he don't, yeah, that's why you so-called Mexicans, man, so-called Mexicans that was born on this side of the border, but looked darker, had darker skin tone, was being deported. That's why they had their land stole from them, even after Mexico surrendered and gave up the land to Babylon. They didn't honor that treaty. They didn't honor the Gadites. They're still breaking the treaties that they made to the Gadites this day without giving a single flying fuck. Because this devil, he does not honor his deals that he makes, man. And that's what you Morse science people, you people that are into that Morse laws or whatever, need to understand, man. Oh boy, I'm high as fuck. What makes you think I'm high as fuck? You're just a scoffer, man. I've dealt with your type before. Of course you're gonna come on here and talk shit. It's fitting that your name is Brian Roach. Because you're actually you're a fucking roach, man. You're like a fucking roach. About to hit you with that raid. Bye. Scoffers that coming on here and talking shit, Brian Roach. What a fitting name. It's, hey, 2 Peter 3:3. This is nothing new. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Of course, it's just the way it is. Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. I guarantee if I was to go back and forth with this dude, he would say some just like that, That's exactly how these scoffers think. Verse 5, for they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of power Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water. Verse 6, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. They're the same ones that scoffed at Noah, okay? Same ones that scoffed back then, scoffed, during all the times the prophets would come out, and bring out the truth, man. Try to wake up our people. You always had them. Verse 7, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved in the fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Verse 8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with Yahweh was 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is is as one day. Verse 9, Yahweh is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. That's why they scoff. But his long suffering to us were not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Yeah, so he's just another scoffer, he's a scorner, he's a roach on a comment board. you know. You get them. In Proverbs 1:22, how long, you simple ones, will you live? Will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in the scorning, and fools hate knowledge? Scorners are, how long are they going to delight in their scorning? Until they get destroyed, apparently, for the most part. You have a few scoffers that turn believers. Majority of these scoffers, man, they're just gonna keep scoffing. Keep scoffing until the tables turn, and the tables turn and we get to scoff at them. Verse 25, because you have said it not at all my counsel, with none of my reproof. This is if he's a Jake, by the way. The heathen, like, we don't give a fuck about heathens, bro, or about Esau, Edom. Like, we're not here for heathens and devils who can't get it anyways. This is for 2/3. Since they're Israelites, even they can't get it, but they're gonna be good in the kingdom. But hey, this is for Israelites. This is addressed to Israelites, man. I also laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. And how is he gonna? He's gonna himself probably is gonna laugh, but how is he gonna make it known that he's laughing at you? Through his prophets, through his men. We're gonna scoff at you, scoffers. Verse 27: when your fear cometh as destruction, and your as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you, shit, we're gonna be cracking jokes. Yahweh is out part of that number. We're gonna be cracking jokes at you niggas, man. We're gonna be cracking jokes. Look at that guy. He's the same one that tried to tell me I was a fear monger and shit. I look at him and he's shook. From the scoffers to the ones getting scoffed at. Tables turning on you scoffers. Verse 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Through. Verse 29, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. Instead you scoffed, having no fear. Verse 30, verse 30, they would none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. Verse 31, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Those words, you're going to eat those words in those days. Verse 32, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. If you're an Edomite, you're just fucked in general. That's some shit, that's some Edomite shit. That's some Edomite shit right there. Edomites love to scoff, but so do 2/3, man. You got some rebellious niggas out there that don't want to take heed, and they'd rather scoff. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Yeah, it's gonna destroy you. Think you're in good case? Well, you're gonna find out that it's actually the opposite. Verse 33, but whoso hearkened unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Not you damn scoffers. You're gonna be full of fear of evil. Hold on, Akim. Alright, but anyways, back where. Alright, Shalom, Shalom, I'm back, Akim. I deal with some real quick. But and also, had to address a fucking scoffer. Also, these scoffers are fucking corny, man, for real. They're a bunch of cornballs and losers. They're the real losers because they're gonna lose in the end. And even now, wasting their time. Fucking losers. That's what they are. All right, but let me get back into this article. Scoffers is just a part of the work. But yeah, let me get into this article because I went into basically. Like, hold up. Let me address let me bring out the scriptures I was bringing. More of the scriptures I was bringing out. Just a land back on that. What I was bringing out. Basically, you can't trust this devil to honor his fucking laws, bro. To honor the treaties that he makes. Just if it wasn't some kind of a staged event, that's because if it was, I wouldn't be surprised. This is the MO of Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man. And this is what he does. He stages false flag events. Uses crisis actors. And Joe Blow, and them devils, bro. They've been talking about domestic extremists and shit. Domestic extremism been trending, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that was staged. Honest, and it's just a fucking act. It was maybe been a hoax. Wouldn't be surprised. It was a hoax. It was staged. Because this devil, yeah, that's something else, man. You gotta understand about this devil. Not only does he not honor his agreements, he does not respect his treaties. By peace he shall destroy many. By peace shall destroy many. Speaking of this particular Edomites, that's their MO. It's actually their MO. That's how they move. Daniel 8:25. Let me get it. Daniel 8:25, which is about I believe it's about Antioch. Yeah, it's about Antiochus Epiphanes. It's about him. That fucking devil who did destroy many by peace. That fucking devil, showing you, how this man. How this beast man operates. Daniel 8:25. And through his policy also shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. My peace shall destroy many. He also shall stand up against the princes of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Yeah, that's talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. That devil, man. That's an example of how these devils work. Anyways, let me you know uh, let me let me get that false flag that scripture about the devices of Satan, our adversary, because Satan is just the Hebrew word for adversary. Our top adversary being Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man. 2 Corinthians verse 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. You know, and this devil, he's basically he's doing anything possible to basically bring about the new world order. Take all the guns from the gun owners, as well as crack down on what this devil calls misinformation. Freedom of speech being cracked down. Basically, the famine of the word, Amos 9 and 8:11. This could be used to bring that as well. Oh, they're bringing out misinformation. We've got to crack down. We've got to crack down on conspiracy theories. This could be used to push that narrative as well. People are being radicalized through the internet, through social media, through YouTube and shit. We got to crack down on all that. And that's Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Because Esau is gonna censor the internet, man, openly. He's gonna pass laws on hate crimes, and online radicalization. He's gonna pass laws. Basically, on that. All certain info can't be posted online because it'll piss people off. It's gonna piss people off and make people do crazy shit. That's what his reasoning is gonna be behind it. Make people commit acts of terrorism. These devils, man, they'll charge you for inciting, bro. They'll charge you for inciting and then take down the shit. You could already see how it's gonna go. How these devils, they're gonna find their loophole, to shut down freedom of speech. Verse 13. Verse 12. This you people, you are people out here, man. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelite foreigners, you Israelite foreigners that look like the other nations, being like unto the speckled bird, but go back to the so-called black people, that Latinos and Native Americans who are the Southern and Northern Kingdom. Go back to either one, or go back to the same tribes that are called that today. You know what I'm saying? Your brothers from another mother. It's gonna go after well, basically y'all, you two-thirds of y'all here in America, as well as the rebels who didn't take heed, scattered to the four corners in the Northern Kingdom countries, gonna try to find this word, bro. Gonna try to find this truth, but not gonna be able to. It's gonna be shut off to you. No limited access to no access at all. Verse 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. You two-thirds. Verse 14, they that swear by the sin of Samaria and say that God ordained liveth, And the manner of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall and never rise up again, you 2/3. Because this famine of the word is coming, and events like these are being used to push it, justify um, them taking away the rights you thought you had in this bitch. And hold on. The reason why Esau's moving like this, basically hyping up domestic terrorism and shit. Reason why he's doing that, let me get it. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Esau knows that it's a wrap, He knows he's going down, He knows that, he knows that he's fucked, whether he makes a move or not. So he's like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I might as well make the move and go out in a blaze of glory. This is what Esau was doing. Might as well take everybody out with me, since I'm going down. So that's what he's about to do, Verse 13, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. The woman symbolizing the Israelites, Yasharah in the pure Paleo original Hebrew. Verse 14, hey, that's you so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners / speckled birds, man. Verse 14, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times, and half a time from the face of the serpent. And this happened back in 70 AD, but we're about to see a repeat of this, except worse. We're about to see a sequel, the sequel of 70 AD, and all these other captivities rolled up into one, rolled up, all these times of Jacob's trouble rolled up into one, and given roids, basically. Given roids, meth and crack, basically. It's going to get crazy out here. Because these devils, it's their last hurrah. We're gonna have to be on the move as pilgrims upon the earth. You could see it, because we're gonna be getting demonized. We're gonna be the ones. We're gonna be getting called terrorists and shit. So we're gonna have to, yeah. There's scriptures that go into that. In fact, Matthew 24, and Matthew chapter 24 speaks of these times. Verse 15, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation. And back in his days, in 70 AD, it was them burning down the temple, bringing unholy things to the temple, like, also what the Greeks did with the swine's flesh and shit. Shit like that, desecrating the temple. But now we're in the times when the 3rd temple is being built up, and that is our bodies, man. That's not a building. The Most High Yahweh don't dwell in houses made with human hands. That's the bodies of the elect. They're the 3rd temple. And this devil is trying to put that abomination of desolation, the abomination that causes desolation, that our fiduciate in us, man. The jab, it's just a stepping stone to that. It's just a way for them to mandate that and to prepare your body for that, because it contains nanotech in it. It's like the wiring for the that system that's going to be inside you, you know. Verse 6, yeah, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place. You know, that's our bodies now. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Verse 16, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. You know, Judea, you know, wherever there's a bunch of Jakes, especially Judea, because that's people before a place. Verse 17, just like Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Verse 17, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Verse 18, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Verse 19, and woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. You know, because you're going to have to flee. You're going to have to be on the run. You know, because Esau's coming down with great wrath. You know, you have to be on the run. And when you have a, you know, it makes sense. You have a baby. You know, it's an extra burden. Whether you're pregnant or you have an infant baby, you know, a toddler, it's an extra burden. Because the days is coming up ain't no joke. Verse 20, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of this world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Well, for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, because these devils are gonna be like madmen, sparing none. You know, that's why. You know that these devils, you know, they're gonna go full Cain mode, man. The Cain gang is gonna go full Cain mode because he knows, you know, he knows he's going to the chain gang, and he knows he's going soon. You know, hey, Yahushua coming with the saints, come with the angels to arrest his ass. You know, hey, Esau's gonna put up a fight and he's gonna resist arrest. Second Ezra 16 and 71. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh. You know, he's gonna try to murder the witnesses, man. That's what he's gonna try to do. You know, because we're constantly calling him out on his bullshit, on his crimes that he's committed against our people. You know, so we're his number one targets. You know, and really this is Esau's incrementalism, but you know, which means slowly creeping up on you type shit, but he's speeding it up. You know, because he's seeing that he's running out of time. You know, so now he's moving to domestic terrorists. Now it went from so-called white supremacists. Notice, it went from so-called white supremacists to so-called black identity extremists. Went right from that. You know, Esau did the bait and switch. He said it. We got to stop these so-called white supremacists, domestic extremists. Then did the bait and switch. And now Jake, you know, now you Jakes, now you so-called blacks, Latinos, you know, you're gonna see it's gonna go down the line. And Native Americans and speckled birds, Israelite foreigners being blamed for it, man. You know, it's Esau. Esau's basically like trying to aim at us without aiming at us directly, because you can say, the black identity extremists. They're black identity extremists, and they're sovereign citizens. You know, they don't believe in adhering to the laws of this land. You know, they refuse to give up their guns, armed and dangerous. And you know, they could take that, could take the the little they could take that that little incident they staged and come on. There's a lot of inconsistencies with that little incident. Ozone, Ozone Wallace, right? Which he could have been probably was a patsy, man. Probably was a patsy, and like the brother from Virginia brought out, they took down his page right away, but they'll bring up that his FB page had I'm much out of the Most High, praise Yah, Kwam Yasharallah. Yah's not even his name, but that's besides the point. These devils are coming after those. They're coming after us in the truth. Hinting at it. Oh, these are the people you should fear. All these. Yeah, these are the people you should fear. So-called black people that don't bow down to the beast system, so you should fear. Because that's the common theme here, right? They don't bow down to the beast system, and they don't listen to the propaganda that's coming out. Coming out the the tube and shit. They don't listen to that. Instead, coming out the television, the idiot box, right? They don't listen to that propaganda, man. So instead, they do their own. They don't do their own research, or they don't depend on these mainstream websites. They don't depend on mainstream media at all. Not take heed. They're not falling for the propaganda. So we gotta make them look like complete demons, and that's what they're doing. Making us look like we're public enemy number one, man. You expect more events like this to happen. You even had an event out there in Canada, with the tribe of Gad, you so-called Native Americans who are really Native Israelites, man. Some that happened way back there, and could be if that was organic, because Native Americans, tribe of Gad are real pissed off, man. Gadites find out that so-called these so-called churches, man, have been run. The Catholic Church specifically, but all these so-called churches basically come out of the Catholic Church. They're basically like one and the same, except for a few variations. And Catholic means universal. Catholic means universal. Everybody can be saved, right? Type doctrine. That's what all these so-called Christians teach, man. You can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and it's all right as long as you pray over it. You can get a roach and stomp it out and throw it in the frying pan and pray over it, and it's all right. They'll literally tell you that with a straight face if they can maintain one. That's all come from Roman Catholicism. So that basically, essentially, they're the same thing. And 1 hour 4 minutes and 40 some seconds, 144 there. Kala Yahweh Shem Yahushai Shem Rakakadash. But getting back, signs, that we are on the right path. Signs and confirmation. Anyways, getting back on it, man. Getting back on these precepts. Well, getting on back on. Hold on. Basically, these devils is ready to come down with great wrath, and They're demonizing us. It demonizing different basically different aspects, different traits of us that are in the truth. We don't bow to the beast system. We don't listen to what's the propaganda. We call them out on their bullshit. We do our own research. You know, basically, oh yeah, they don't. Basically targeting different aspects of it, man. Oh, we are against Babylon. We're against the beast system. You know, no. So we call out these Roman centurions for working for the beast system. So it's what they played into with the ozone Wallace incident. It's what they played into, and it could have easily been staged, man. Oh, they just had dude wear a fucking wear fringes, while shooting this cop, right? That could easily be staged. There is enough hoaxes that they staged in the past. They could have staged this hoax as well. It could be a complete hoax. Didn't get rid of them. Didn't murk them right then either. It could have been a fucking hoax, or it could have been it could have been, dude was like a fat or something, bro. And they told him to shoot a cop dressed in fringes. Either way, yeah, it's a staged event, I believe. They could easily, have a hoax like that, man. And then his page got deleted. After that came out, it's Kamya Sharala, a child of the Most High on there. Because they're aiming at, man. Look at who they're aiming at. So you're gonna have more incidents like this. False flags. And then you're gonna have real organic events, man. People are actually pissed off, lost their shit. The event with the so-called Native Americans out there in Canada burning down the churches. That could be I've seen videos of them tagging them too. Red red fingerprints. These devils are murderers. They have blood on their hands. That could be a real event. Those could be real events. Or some could be staged, man. Esau could have done it. But we know that devils are. We know that race war is coming as well. God is gonna get risen up. So you're gonna have actual events like that. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So you had these so-called churches that got burnt on on Gadite land and shit over there. And it could be, you know, a real event, but it could also be a staged event as well. You know, Esau could be doing it. Wouldn't be surprised. All right, so yeah, it could be a staged event, but also, let me bring that. Let me get this scripture, Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So a race war, a civil war, all that's coming, man. All that's coming. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, eventually a world war. All that shit's coming, man. And also sedition among men is prophesied as well. Second Ezra's 15. Second Ezra's 15. talking about sedition among men. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You know, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. You know, they're not going to regard their kings nor princes, not going to give a fuck. You know, everybody going to be a sovereign citizen in that day, bro. They ain't going to care about what what the president or your local congressman, local senator, or the governor or mayor gonna say. You know, not care about that, man. You know, they're gonna be they're gonna be like you know they're gonna be on some rebellious shit against them, bro. And they're not gonna give a fuck about what they have to say, bro. They're gonna do their own thing, bro. Take actions, take matters into their own hands. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city. No, it's gonna lead to this as well, man. And shall not be able because of the martial law, which is what this devil wants. That's why he's pushing all that. Hold on, Akim. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Well, a famine's going to make that sedition among men even worse. You know, it's gonna add fuel to the fire, man. That's what it's gonna do. You know, anyways, yeah, it's gonna add fuel to the fire. You know, cause even more uprisings. You know, and also when they push more unrighteous decrees, like, hold on, hold on, like when they mandate the jab and shit, and the chip after, and that's coming soon. When they lock this bitch down, mandate the jab and the chip, you know, the everybody. Hey, you gotta take the chip and the dip, man. Then hey, bro, you're gonna have that shit, man. Motherfuckers, people out here know that the jab ain't good for you. They people ain't trying to take it, especially down here. It's a lot of people that are taking it, but it's a lot of people that ain't. You know, and yeah, and people out here know that the mark of the beast is the RFID chip. A lot of people know, man. That is, just makes sense. So you're gonna have people taking up arms against this devil, man, trying to fight back carnally. Jakes, and other Edomites and heathens. 2/3. The Egyptian versus Egyptian, because 2/3, adopting the ways of Esau, Edom, the modern day Egyptians, can also be likened unto Egyptians as well, man. Isaiah 19 and 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, And they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. This is what, they want to do, man. Verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I'll destroy the counsel thereof. They shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits. Verse 4, the point, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, Yahweh of hosts. Saith Ha'adawan, it was lowercase Lord, Yahweh of hosts. So you're gonna have that. Adawan means Lord in Hebrew, FY, if those don't know. And let me get Jeremiah, and also that's gonna be levels to this, man. Different classes of people, fighting against each other. Different race of people, different classes of people in different areas of Babylon fighting against each other. All out civil war. Race war, class war, race war and a class war, war between, Democrat supporters and Republican supporters, war between, that type of shit. But people versus the state and vice versa, shit like that. And it all, really, these devils think that, these devils actually doing divide and conquer to, their own country, and they think that they're gonna build a new world order off of it, order ab KO, and it's gonna be a great reset. They're gonna reset their rulership and shit, and basically make the whole world like Babylon, but worse. That's what they think they're gonna do, but not so. This place, and Esau's kingdom, Esau's rulership that is from this kingdom. This is not a kingdom; it's a queendom. It's not gonna be healed. Babylon not gonna be healed. Jeremiah 51 and 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. So if it were possible, right? Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, because that was a taunt, right? Most High how taunting this place to his prophets. It's prophet Jeremiah in this case. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, is lifted even to the skies. Babylon, spiritually Babylon / Egypt / Sodom / Assyria, Rome all over again. It's actually through. It's over with. It's over and done with. They can't. These places run out of steam. Places run out of steam. It's divided. It's exposed. It's through. Man. Hey, Matthew. It's being. Devils are exposing themselves, man. Hey, that house of Esau and the kingdom of Esau, rulership. Yeah, hey, rulership of Esau. Well, the house of Esau is divided against each other as well as the kingdom of Esau. They're divided against each other. These different rulers. It's another sign of the end. I'm gonna wrap it up soon, Nakim. Matthew 12. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Matthew 12 and 25, because I think I've almost pretty much proved my point. Matthew 25 and Yahushua. Matthew 12 and 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself shall not stand, and every city is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. No city or a kingdom, This is a kingdom. It's not it's a kingdom, really. But, same concept here. Verse 26, and as Satan cast out Satan, he's divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? It's not going to stand. It's a rhetorical question. Let me get, Jeremiah 51 and 46. Lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that another year shall come a ruler, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. That's going to eventually lead to that as well. You're going to have that as well. All kinds of civil wars, all kinds of divisions between Jacob and Esau, even between different factions of these 2/3 Jakes, 2/3 Jakes that want to be on the side of Esau versus 2/3 Jakes that ain't, these 2/3 speckled birds that think they're Esau and think they're heathens, versus original looking Jakes and all types of the 2/3, they're adversaries to us as well, This is gonna be the curse consuming the 2/3. Having these carnal niggas destroy each other as well as destroy Esau. Now these lower level, these 2/3 are gonna get their lick back against these lower level Edomites. Before they get taken out, they're gonna get their lick back. And let me get hold on. And that's why, hold on. What's I gonna get? Let me think. Let me actually think. Yeah, you 2/3 are gonna be totally destroyed, and lower level Edomites, that's how you're gonna pay on this side. But that's not. That's just the beginning of you lower level Edomites paying for your shit. Hey, you 2/3 and you throwaways of Esau are both gonna destroy each other. And because the hopeful elect is not gonna get carnal. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the taking down of strongholds. We don't trust in our sword. I gotta wrap this up soon. The weapons of our warfare, they ain't carnal. 2 Corinthians 10 and 10 and 4 and 5. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through power of Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, not carnal. So hey, we're not supposed to trust in our sword, and also we're not supposed to trust in this man's system, including the laws that he claims to honor. Trust not in oppression. Psalm 62, verse 10, trust not in oppression, become not vain in robbery. If riches increase it, well, it's about, the worthless friends of this kingdom, basically. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. But also, Isaiah, we're not supposed to trust in any aspect of this system, man. It's unreliable. Isaiah 30, hold on. Let me get one that fits it. Like, okay, this kind of does. Isaiah 30 and 1, woe to the rebellious children, say the Yahweh that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. Verse 2, that walk down to go to Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, to trust in the shadow of Egypt. You trust that this devil is going to honor them deals that he made with you, man. You trust in oppression, you trust in modern day Egypt, for those that sincerely following moves like this. Hold on, again. Let's wrap it up. I'll wrap it up. Hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there spread this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations but be like unto the speckled bird. And be like shalom to the Israelite foreigners who be like unto the speckled bird looking like the other nations. But the Spirit bears witness with our children. With our spirit that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, meaning the Israelites, and shalom to the real sisters out there who are actually holding it down. But actually stayed in order, not just claiming to be stayed in order and being a sister, but actually being a sister and being different from these fake sisters and these hoes, these 2/3 wicked ass Eves, aka bad bitches. Shalom to all the hopeful. Stay strong. Hey, stay strong. We almost out of here. Stay strong. Esau, you're through, and you're doomed. It's over for you. We got next. We got next soon. Stay strong. Shalom, and we got forever. Stay strong, endurance to the end. The saved shall be saved. Shalom, and Yasharallah forever.